Hello, everyone. Hello. Interesting developments in Bitcoin overnight. We've had a correction. Now, let's have a look at this correction that we've had. So, where are we at the moment in Bitcoin? Well, let's look at the 20-hour. So, we've come way below the hourly moving averages, all of them. We've come down. We had a double top. Now, yesterday, I was going to send out a message. Now, this makes me feel that I really am getting to know markets now, because look, we had a blatant double top there on the 24th at 3 o'clock and a top on the 25th at 1 o'clock. Now that is a typical double top. This is on an hourly chart, remember, folks. This is short term, looking at the charts, what it's going to do in an interim period. And it's had what you would call a classic pullback from the double top. It's gone. See, this is making me feel bullish now that we've had this huge pullback here with some strong selling candles. But this candle particularly, because of the wick at the bottom, you see this candle here. Let's point at that. This candle here, this is for people with candlestick. I haven't got experience with candlesticks. This candlestick here, okay, where that wick there is so long, the wick of the candle, that means that there was a lot of buying pressure pushing it back up. So this big red candle, although it's red, so it was mainly selling, there'll be a lot of buying volume in there to buying that dip. If Bitcoin found a lot of buyers at these levels here, Bitcoin found buyers at the low 17 levels. We'll have a look to see if that's anything significant. Let's have a Fibonacci out on this one. See where we are with that at the moment. So Fib retrace. Now, where was the high? Yeah, the high was there, and that's the most relevant recent one. So at the moment, we got above the 236. So from the low there, this is on an hourly chart, remember, folks. This is short-term swing trading, day trading. What I would tell you, though, is last night, I wasn't going to short Bitcoin, but I was thinking of taking some profits off the table when you had this double top, because this is a classic double top on the hourly chart, and it played out perfectly. And I think it's gone all the way to the target of this double top, because the neckline is there, and you measure it from the neckline. So let's measure quickly. Now, I'm not an expert in double tops. What I will say, though, is that this is played out and it looks to have exceeded the target, because what you need to do is measure from the top to the neckline. Now, the neckline is there, or the neckline could be where it broke that. Now, I'd say the neckline is there at that little local bottom there. So there's your measuring tool. And now you measure down. You measure down one. So that's one target, and it's reached and it's at that target now. Now, it's reached the target and it's got above the 236 there. 3 minutes left on this hourly candle. This hourly candle, not that exciting, opened at 17,769, high of 17,933, and now a low of 17,703, and it's going to close at 17,866. So it's not an exciting candle. But look, there's the measurement. Do you see that from that? So you measure the candle from the neckline, which is there really, which is there, that bit there where it hit the bottom, that's the neckline. And look, it measures down to there and it's gone to that target. Now, I am sure that it is that on most classical charts, you'll measure the length of that. Sometimes it could be a bit more, which means that it looks like it's gone down and hit the target there. And there was a lot of buying pressure at 17,251. So what does this mean in the short term? Well, the 20 is a key moving average, and we're way below that 20-hour moving average at the moment. The hourly averages are pointing down as well, which if they cross, this looks like it's going to cross. Unless Bitcoin picks up a bid, the 20 and the 50 are going to cross, which is also bearish. It creates more resistance on the way back up. But that's a good look at the hourly. Let's go up to the 4 hour. As you can see there, we've had a huge correction all the way down to the 100 hour, the 4 hour candle, 100, the 400 moving average has been breached there. That's used as support. But as you can see, the volume, it's not that great considering, this leg up on the 24th from 18,395 and pushing up to 19,109 at the highs. Much more volume there, and that was a Marabuthu candle. So that's a Marabuthu candle. So I don't think this correction has got that much legs, to be honest. I don't think the correction is, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's going to go, I don't think Bitcoin will go lower than 17,251. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. So I could be now highlighting to you a really, really good buying opportunity right at the moment, just at the moment. This could be one of those last chance saloons to get Bitcoin under 18,000. We never know. Nobody knows. But then again, what I will say as well, thinking about this, we've had a remarkable run. We could have a quick look at it on the 4 hour chart. Recently, Bitcoin has been in a marvellous bullish run. Let's look at it on a daily chart, the most used chart. Look, let's get rid of those ugly fibs on the short term. Bitcoin has been on the most remarkable run. So it didn't even hit that moving average, the 20-day moving average there. So what's happened is really insignificant. So we had a bit of consolidation in September, didn't we, when it came down. But since around let's have a look when it really picked up. So it really began to pick up on the 8th of October when the price of it was opened at 10,669. And since then, we've had a remarkable run. And how long ago is that, the 8th of October? We're looking at, we could count the days, couldn't we? We could count the days, but look, it's what, the 26th of November, you're looking at 46 days of, really bullish action. We've had one day on the 7th of November where it went from lows of 14,351 and there was a high of 15,778. So then we had a few consolidatory days, and then from the 11th of November again, bullish, very bullish. So this correction really, it hasn't even touched the 20-day moving average. So it's not even a correction yet. It's just a minor take profit session. And until Bitcoin actually, there could be consolidation now. That would be, for me, rather than saying, right, all rush to buy now because it's not going to go below what it went below earlier. What was that? What did it go to earlier at the lows? 17,253. We could be like saying, right, we need to buy now. There's no chance that the Bitcoin's going below 17. Let's wait and see, because I think consolidation now would be ideal. It would attract some accumulators as well. You'll be getting, when the European Open opens, I think you'll be getting more people inclined to accumulate more Bitcoin rather than sell off loads of it, the big boys at least. So I think we could be in for some consolidation now. And I think what would be good is consolidation, so just chopping. So let's just look at that. What are we talking about here? Consolidation. Well, consolidation, I'd want to see, up there, and then, this isn't the tool to do it with, but and then down there, and then up again, and then down, maybe a bit lower, maybe down to about 16, and then maybe along and up again to there. So that would be good, and let's go down last of all for one last buying opportunity. So yeah, now if that happened that's right up until January. Now what you can expect then, because I always think in my fundamental analysis that Q2 2021 is when the fireworks might go off, because you have to take in the factors that this cycle, with this cycle halving, we had the halving earlier. So we're 4 months earlier than the 2016, 2017. If you match them up, and 2017, the hype cycle coming Q4, there was good action all year 2017, good bullish action. But, with it coming then, I think we could have the ultimate high of this cycle, where we're going to have an interim top that might last a year or two. Some of my investor friends are not keen on thinking about that, but the smart money, the smart people in this game know that it's very cyclical because of the halving schedule, and they know that there's going to be a hype cycle and a high which will post for a couple of years, and then we'll go into a bear market again, because Bitcoin will get way overvalued. When it's up to about 100 grand, I think 100 grand it will be overvalued. Some people are saying 350, 318 in this cycle. No. I'm saying I think when it gets to 100, I think at the end of Q2, we could get to 100 grand, and that could be the top. It could come earlier in the cycle. Or it may go on to 120, or maybe next October, November, could go to 120 maximum. Like these people telling you this year 318, I wouldn't take any notice of that. It's just too much capital would have to go into Bitcoin for that, for this cycle. Too much capital. So when Bitcoin gets to an interim high, we need to be thinking about pulling out. Now, I don't think this is anything significant, this pullback last night. I might accumulate a little bit, some altcoins, accumulate my blue token. Actually, I'm going to accumulate my blue token, but I'm not going to say that, look, this is the biggest buying opportunity. Remortgage your house today because we're going to 28K this December. I'm not saying that. I could be wrong. Today, Bitcoin could turn around and start going up again. I would prefer now for Bitcoin to consolidate, healthy consolidation across there. Let's have a look at the weekly, what this has done to the weekly candle. Probably nothing. Let's get rid of all these drawings. There you go. So yeah, the weekly candle now is a bit of a spinning top, but we need a weekly candle. We need a red weekly candle. We've had too many greens. That's too much. 7 weekly candles is the record as well. And if we're starting to push 8 weekly candles, we're starting to get to crazy stage, FOMO, fear of missing out. And we're only in the stealth stage at the moment. Looking at the Glassnode stats, we're still only in the stealth stage. We've still got a lot to run. So I think now, consolidation now, for a long period of time, up perhaps into 14th of December, just sideways movement here. So just sideways movement, down a bit, and then up a bit, and just going across sideways until that 14th of December. Then we may go up again because we've got such strength on CMFs and all of this stuff. Let me show you the CMF for Bitcoin on the daily chart. We're back on the weekly here. The weekly chart CMF is good as well. It's a very good indicator, the CMF. It shows the distribution. And I haven't looked at this for a little while, so it will be interesting to see the buying distribution, where we're at, how high we are compared to last year is what I want to see. Now, I like it to be an area because it looks better. I think we're very high at the moment. I think Bitcoin is in a very... Look, we are up. Actually, we're not as high as we were last year at our heights. It's just gone down a little bit in the last... Let's have a look at this on a daily chart, the CMF. 3-day charts are good as well, but I've gone back to the daily. Let's go back to the daily and see where we are with this. And it'd be good to see where we are compared to last year as well. We'd have to zoom out quite a lot to get that. Yeah, so there's last year's, and we topped. So in relation to last year on the CMF, we're actually not... The heights in the CMF last year were here. And this was in March. Oh, that was giving us that bull signal. That was still lows. That was when the lows, and then the CMF went up, and that was a massive bullish signal that the CMF had gone up so much where the accumulation was taking place. Let me just show you that, because that is very, very interesting indeed. This was a big buy signal, folks, in March 2019, before that bullish behavior there. Let's have a zoom in on that, because that was the hugest buy signal I have seen when the CMF went up to here. It went up to 44 and Bitcoin was still 4,000. And then suddenly, because this accumulate distribution had all of this time was being strongly accumulated. So when it started to get above these moving averages, we flipped bullish, and the CMF really showed that and went up to the chaikin money flow went up to 42, 44. And then we had that huge bull run, which was ended up being a bull trap. Now, where are we now with the CMF? I'll be interested to see where we are now with this CMF. So yeah, we've had a little backpedal in the last few days. We've had a little backpedal that didn't necessarily coincide. Look, we started to backpedal on the 22nd when it leveled on the 22nd, and then so we're heading south. This just means that the buying volume compared to sell volume has lessened to what it was here on the 5th of November, and these big bullish signs on the 17th. So we've lessened quite significantly. We're down to 26 from highs there of 39. Okay, but look, the green bars are all higher than the red bars. Look, the volume, not the CMF. So we're looking at volume now, folks. Let's look at volume. So look, volume here. These green bars are bigger than all the red bars. All the red bars, look. The greens are all bigger. Now, that is an incredibly bullish sign. Volume speaks volumes. Volume speaks volumes, because if the volume is consistently more buying volume, I mean, there were years there where whenever I looked at the chart, I was encouraged by some price action bullishly at some points, but you always usually used to have red for about 30 months from January 2018. Red bars consistently were in control. Now, since this October run up, so 8th of October was when we really started to get bullish. Now, since then, green bars are way outweighing any red bars. Now, that's very bullish. So this consolidation period, that's telling me that during this consolidation period, it's unlikely to pull back significantly down to 15 to 14,000. Very unlikely. The path of least resistance is firmly to the upside, and volume is always, for me, Alessio Rastani, my guy I look up to so much in technical analysis. He's not massive on volume. I do know a fair few people who are interested in volume, and I've been shown how significant volume is when you're looking at a chart like this, and the reds are far, far lower than the greens. All the big greens and all the little greens are bigger. The little greens are bigger than the little reds, and are nearly as big as the big reds, the little greens. And the big greens are way high. That's bullish, folks. That is very bullish sign on Bitcoin. So we've had a look at the long term. Let's go back to the weekly just one more time. Hang on about. Let's have a look at the MACD. MACD is an interesting one. And the stochastic. So the MACD, where are we? Because the MACD tells a lot of stories, actually. I've hit it twice. The MACD is an interesting signal. And look, the MACD on the daily has turned red. And there's a crossover. Folks, I think we're going to have consolidation here or downward momentum. I honestly do. I think we're in time. This is the time when we're going to have this. How do I make this bigger? Yeah, look, we've turned red. We've got a red bar, and we've had a crossover on the MACD there. That is bearish. That's a bearish MACD, because we've had. See, what I need to do is to try. Let's move it up. I need to make these bigger. And you can do that. You can make these green bars bigger. You need to line it up. You are able to do this. No problem.